Welcome to Module 2. So today we're going to be diving deep into something that can completely change the way that you think about online income, and especially UGC. So you've probably seen influencers online before and thought, wow, that must be amazing. But then it also quickly felt like it was out of reach too, right? At least I know I have. Because the truth is, while the influencer industry had its moment, there's actually a new, more accessible and even more lucrative opportunity for you. And judging by the fact that you're watching this right now, you already know what I'm talking about. UGC, or user-generated content. So in this video, I'm going to show you why UGC is the perfect path to financial freedom, and you can live a life on your own terms, even with no followers and zero experience. So let's start with the influencer industry, the business model that actually paved the way for UGC. So for years, influencers have dominated the digital space. They've built massive followings, they've partnered with huge brands, and they've earned millions through sponsorships. And at its peak, the influencer industry was worth billions of dollars, right? With brands just pouring money into influencer campaigns. Sounds glamorous, right? But here's the catch. To succeed as an influencer, let's get real. You need a huge following because brands partner with influencers primarily for the reach and influence over a specific audience. So that means a large following is critical. Also, if you're an influencer, most likely you're going to have to post your own profile to reach your specific audience. Another thing is, building such a large following, it actually takes years of consistent posting, understanding algorithms, and sometimes it's just even luck. And even if you do manage to grow an audience, it doesn't guarantee success because your audience may be only relevant just to a handful of brands, right? So being an influencer also means that you have to share your life with the world, often at the expense of your own privacy. You're expected to be on all the time, and that can be exhausting. You're always creating content, and then you have to engage with your audience around the clock. So for many people, this level of exposure is overwhelming and super stressful, especially when you're faced with criticism like all that negativity online. And last but not least, the influencer industry isn't booming like it used to be because brands have discovered something even better. They realize that the polished influencer ads, they just don't connect with audiences the way that authentic, relatable content does. And that's where UGC comes in. So what is UGC exactly in its most simple form? User-generated content is created by everyday people, not influencers. So unlike influencer marketing, UGC doesn't require you to have a large following because you're not posting the content to your own profile. Brands actually pay you to make content that's relatable, it's real-life videos that help them sell their products. You don't need any followers and you don't need to be famous. Hallelujah. You just need to create great content that resonates with their audience. So just to give you an example, let's say a skincare brand wants you to promote their new moisturizer. And instead of hiring an influencer, they hire you as their UGC creator. And you make a video of you showing yourself applying the moisturizer and talking about how soft and glowy your skin feels. Well, the brand then uses that video in their ads. You get paid for creating the video, but you don't need to post it to your own profile and you don't need any followers. The brand actually handles all the promotion. And let me tell you, the demand for UGC is exploding right now. When I first started myself 3 years ago, it was brand new and the term UGC didn't even exist yet. How crazy is that? And it's been amazing to see that brands are heavily invested in this type of content because it works. Authentic UGC actually drives higher engagement, better conversion rates, and even more trust from consumers than traditional ads. And brands are constantly looking for new UGC creators to use in their marketing all the time. It's a billion-dollar industry that's already taken over the influencer industry. Now that's wild. And the reason is simple. Authenticity sells. People trust real-life creators more than polished influencers, and brands are actually willing to pay for that trust. So this demand creates an incredible opportunity for creators like you and me. So let's take a look at how being a UGC creator compares to being an influencer, okay? Being an influencer requires followers, fame, and consistent posting. Listen, it's a tough competitive space. I've done it before. Trust me. And now let's take a look at a UGC creator. Being a UGC creator requires 0 followers, no posting, and it pays more consistently. So if you're looking for a clear, achievable path to making money online, UGC wins every time. Now, let's talk numbers because I love money transparency. On average, a UGC deal through an agency pays around $300 per project. And as a UGC freelancer, you can earn even more, with rates for beginners ranging from $750 to about $1,200 per project. So here's what that looks like in real terms. Let's say you work with an agency and you land about 4 jobs per month, each paying around $300. That's 300 times 4, which equals $1,200 a month. That's just for agency jobs. Now, if you add freelance jobs to that and you get 4 of these every month, you'll be making anywhere from $4,200 to about $6,000 every single month as a complete beginner. I know this because I've been doing it myself for 3 years. And my freelance rates per brand is around $4,000 to $6,000 per month. And I have around 4 of those every single month, which is crazy. And that's how I average $20,000 plus a month. And that's not even count my agency jobs. Listen, I'm not saying this to brag, but rather just to inspire you and give you an idea of what is possible with UGC. And with the right strategies and resources, this is totally achievable. And guess what? That's exactly what you'll learn in this program. Now, let's quickly take a look at the process when you're creating UGC for brands. First, you find a brand that you love to work with. Then you pitch yourself using the strategies and templates that I'll teach you. And then you negotiate a rate and scope of the project. Then you'll receive a brief from the brand and then sign a contract. Now it's actually time to create the content, the fun part. Then you deliver the content over and you get paid. It's as simple as that. No posting to your profile, no followers needed. And then the brand uses your content that you made for their marketing. And then you're free to keep on creating and getting paid. So what does it take to be a successful UGC creator? Well, it comes down to a few key skills, which is something that we're all going to go through in detail in this program. First, you need to learn how to create scroll-stopping content. Next, you need to build a portfolio that showcases your talents. Then you need to know where to find these brands and how to pitch yourself to them. Then you need to master the art of negotiation and pricing so that you'll get paid what you're worth. And then you need to learn how to take your UGC business to the next level. So we're going to cover everything in the upcoming chapters and modules in this course. So I hope you're excited about this UGC opportunity like I am. And let me tell you, this isn't just about making money. It's about creating a life of freedom and fulfillment. And that's super important to me. So I will see you in the next module where you'll get started on becoming a top UGC creator.